Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be looking at a 4-1 set to 3200 elo on the global leaderboard by the Ken Kanatsu. So he got to 102 ranking on leaderboard, which is page 3 on the leaderboards, which is pretty cool. And the team he used is working in 2752 legend rank, and then you can also use it over 3000 elo to to get to the leaderboard. So we have Diggersby, Ariados, and Drapion. Diggersby on the lead takes care of Pokemons where Ariados and Drapion are weak, and and Ariados takes care of grass type Pokemon and water type Pokemon where our Diggersby struggles. So we are switching into our Drapion, and here we will let go of this Hydro Cannon, and then we will try to Poison Sting it down. And now we have a lot of energy loaded for the Clodsire that was on the lead. You can go for the Aqua Tail, it will do nice 30% damage. Clodsire is not a counter to Drapion, because if we shield one Earthquake, then Aqua Tails over time force shield on Clodsire. Opponent are forced to shield Aqua Tails because they do so much damage now. We got the alignment, we paired our Diggersby against that Clodsire, and that's why opponent switched into his Pangoro. We can come in with our Ariados. Ariados has super effective lunge damage, which also debuffs Pangoro's attack, which is really good for us. Now we can no shield these Night Slashes. These are doing neutral damage, and we can survive we have already survived 2, and the third one is going to knock out. So let's see if the Ken Kanatsu decides to shield this charge move or not. Okay, he's deciding to no shield this charge move. So now Pangoro is out of energies. That's why he decided to no shield there. Let's see if he decides to shield this charge move. Okay, he's not shielding this charge move. The reason why he didn't shield the close combat is because he was expecting a Night Slash bait, and opponent didn't bait, which is good for his good on his part. He got the super effective close combat damage. Now we can go for the Scorching Sands against this Clodsire, and then since Pangoro has no energy, we can go for another Scorching Sands before Pangoro makes it to a charge move and KO this Pangoro for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Diggersby versus Ariados. So this is a neutral matchup. I would like to say that this is a neutral matchup because I have been on the other side of it where I was using Ariados against a Diggersby, and after using a shield and 2 lunge debuffs, I was able to no shield these fire punches, and then I was throwing Trailblazers to to KO the Diggersby. So I have won the lead with my Ariados, but I had to use shields. Let's see how this player is deciding to play this matchup. Play this matchup. So we are going for the fire punch, and opponent decided to no shield. So here we caught the charge move on our Ariados. So as you can see, Ariados, just because it wins CMP, was able to win the lead matchup. So here opponent is coming in with his Morpeko, and here we are calling the Psychic Fang bait, and it is a Psychic Fang bait. We can go for the lunge. This will one-shot the Morpeko if goes unshielded, because bug type charge move does super effective damage on dark type. So here we can actually shield this charge move because it is a CMP tie, and this lunge will one-shot. So it can force another shield from opponent. Let's see what he decides to do. We are looking pretty good here because now we can come in with our... Okay, the Ken Kanatsu is deciding to save his Ariados, and he switched out into his Drapion. We are going to no shield the Psychic Fang, and now we can go for the Aqua Tail. It will do enough damage to knock out this Morpeko, and opponent is coming in with his Azumarill. So we can go for the Crunches, and Poison Sting will add up over time. So this is not a bad matchup for Drapion. We can go for the Crunch, and if we get a debuff, that will be even better. So let's see what what happens next. So we can go for another Crunch, and now we caught the charge move on our Ariados. This is amazing. This is the reason why he decided to save his Ariados, and nice catch by the Ken Kanatsu. And I think, yeah, opponent surrenders here. Into the next match, we have Diggersby versus Cloudsire. Amazing lead now. Let's see what opponent switches into. Opponent is switching into his Dugong, so we can come in with our Ariados. Ariados is a Dugong counter because it has access to that Trailblaze, which also boosts Ariados attack, and then Ariados also takes neutral damage from Icy Wind and Drill Run, whereas like Icy Wind does super effective damage on Diggersby and Drill Run does super effective damage on the Drapion. So we can go for another Trailblaze. It will almost knock out. We got the Icy Wind debuff, that's why Dugong survived. Otherwise we would have like it would have one-shotted. No, it would have knocked out Dugong. So opponent comes in with his Cloudsire. We can go for the Trailblaze here. It will do nice neutral damage, and then we can go for another Trailblaze if Cloudsire does not throw his energy. Okay, opponent is throwing his energy because he don't want to get hit with another Trailblaze. He goes for the Stone Edge. Now we know that he does not have Sludge Bomb, and he has Ferrothorn in the back. So here we are going for double effective super fire punches on the Ferrothorn, and then we can switch out on our Drapion. And the Kenganatsu tried to catch the Power Whip, and it is a Power Whip. Like he threw after some time. I think he should have Thunder or Flash Cannon, but I don't know why he threw Power Whip. I guess he thought that since I threw after some time, maybe the Kenganatsu will think that this is a Thunder. Okay, opponent goes for the Thunder. Now we tried to throw Aqua Tail, but we died with the charge move. We can go for the Fire Punch. It will knock out this Ferrothorn if goes unshielded, and then we have a really nice alignment of Cloudsire. We have to shield this charge move because this is the charge move which will do most damage, because Earthquake will do neutral damage, so we don't have to shield it honestly. And Power Whip does super effective damage. It will do more damage than Earthquake basically. So we can go for another Sand Shear Scorching Sands. You will see that how much damage Earthquake does. It doesn't do a lot. So we can go for the Scorching Sand here before Cloudsire makes it to a charge move, and then we can go for the Scorching Sand, and then we can throw this Fire Punch on the Ferrothorn to win the game. GG's. Well played by the Kenganatsu. Into the next match, we got Diggersby versus Feraligatr. Bad lead, but it is not it is not a bad I like to say it as a neutral lead, because I have used my Feraligatr against Diggersby, and it's a pain like try to Shadow Claw down Diggersby. So that's why opponent decided to switch into his Registeel, and I don't think it is a good switch. Honestly, I think opponent has no answer to Diggersby in his team, so I guess Diggersby is core breaking him. So we can go for the Scorching Sands, and it gets a shield, and the Kenganatsu is deciding to get the shield advantage, and then I think he will come in with his Drapion here. He will get a lot of energy, and then he will go for the Crunch against this Feraligatr. We didn't get any debuff attack defense debuff, so we have to go for another Aqua Tail, and then it will knock out Feraligatr. Opponent, we still have shield advantage, and we have 2 healthy mons available, and that I think that's why opponent decided to surrender. Into the next match, we have Diggersby versus Gastrodon. Neutral matchup. We have to stay in this matchup because we have to stay in this matchup. It is neutral, but it is in favor of Diggersby, so there's no need to switch out. We can go for the Scorching Sands. It does neutral damage, and if we would have gotten that attack debuff, that would have been amazing. Here opponent goes for the Earth Power, and he also doesn't get his defense drop, which is amazing for us. We can go for another Scorching Sands, and after this I guess we will go for fast move down. We switched out into a Drapion. I think we tried to fast move down that Gastrodon to get some energy advantage, and opponent also came in with his Drapion. We can go for the Aqua Tails, and I think we lost CMP die. Let's see again. So we can go for the Aqua Tail. We need like 2 Aqua Tails to KO the Drapion. Drapion can survive 2 Aqua Tails, but after that Poison Stings knock it out. So We can go for another Aqua Tail here, but opponent is throwing before us, so the Kenganatsu is deciding to let it go, and then I think he will come in with his... Okay, he's coming in with his Ariados and deciding to shield the Aqua Tail, because after lunge debuff, Aqua Tail will do less damage, so if you want to shield, that was the right time. And opponent has a Talonflame in the back, and our answer to Talonflame, which was Drapion, is gone, so that's why the Kanatsu decided to surrender. Here is his 4-1 to 32-33 elo thing. Let's look at some more battles where I think there's a Talonflame matchup, so you can see how to play those matchups out. I have those recordings, so let's get into those battles. Into the next match, we have DIGGERSBY versus Talonflame. So Talonflame here resists both charge moves from DIGGERSBY, but you will see how broken this team is if it can win if it can win against this Talonflame team. So we can go for the Scorching Sands, and I think we got the attack debuff, which is amazing. Now we can survive 2 flies, because if we didn't get the debuff, we don't survive 2 flies. Opponent goes for the Brave Bird to do a lot of neutral damage. Now we can go for Fire Punches instead of Scorching Sands, because Brave Bird defense drop is very bad for Talonflame. Opponent goes for the Flyer now to get guaranteed KO. That's why he decided to throw Brave Bird as well. Now we came in with a Drapion, and we completely farmed down that Talonflame. Now we are going for multiple Aqua Tails against this Clotsire. We will also try to shield the potential Earthquake, because if we shield it, then we can get to 4 Aqua Tails, and 3 Aqua Tails knock out the Clotsire. 4th one is going to be for that shield which we are using here. Basically, that's my calculation, but it is wrong, because the second Earthquake comes earlier than the first one. So we can go for another Aqua Tail, and opponent caught it on his Paraligator. We can go for the Crunch, or we can actually suggest... Okay, we are going for the Crunch here. So what he did is he got Aqua Tail there so that he can knock out that Clotsire, and then he switched out into his Ariados. Here he can survive this Hydro Cannon, and then Tailblaze will knock out this Paraligator. Well played by the Kenganatsu. Very well played. Even though he got that Talonflame, which knocked out his DIGGERSBY and got the lead. Clotsire and Paraligator core is one of the best core in the Great League right now. This is how you play it. This is how you play against that team. In the next match, we have DIGGERSBY versus Marowak. So this is a neutral matchup. I think DIGGERSBY should win it, because it is so bulky. Its bulk should win him this lead matchup. We can go for the Scorching Sands, and if we get the attack debuff, that will be amazing. We got the attack debuff, and that's why opponent switched out into his Talonflame, and we have our Drapion against it. If opponent goes for the Flame Charge, then he can win this switch matchup in 2 shields. But opponent is going for the Fly, so now Aqua Tails will do a lot of damage. We only have to connect 1 Aqua Tail, so after that we can Poison Sting down Talonflame to win this switch matchup. We can go for another Aqua Tail to get that shield, but opponent decided not to shield, so he is coming in with his Marowak. We can go for the Aqua Tail, force a shield, and then we can align our DIGGERSBY against this Marowak. We can come in with our Marowak, and now even 1 Fire Punch will knock out this Marowak, and that's why the Kenganatsu is going for the Fire Punch. Opponent goes for the Bone Club, which is not doing a lot of damage. You don't have to shield it, honestly. Especially on DIGGERSBY, you might have to shield that charge move on your Ariados. We can go for the Fire Punch here, but opponent gets to the charge move. Can we survive the Bone Club? I guess we can. Yes, we did, and we switch out into our Ariados, and opponent has Drapion in the back. So shield management is very important, because now we have 1 shield advantage against opponent, and lunges from Ariados does neutral damage against Drapion. We only need 2 lunges to knock out this Drapion. We also can survive this Aqua Tail, but if it is a crunch, then shielding this charge move is the right idea. And opponent goes for Aqua Tail. It doesn't matter, because Drapion won't reach another charge move, because lunge knocks out the Drapion, and then Opponent comes in with his Marowak, and we have a Fire Punch loaded to knock out this Marowak, and that's how we can win this game. Into the next match, we have DIGGERSBY versus Machamp. Very bad lead here. We are going to switch out into our Drapion, and now we can go for the Aqua Tail. And here I guess we have to shield because Cross Chop does a lot of damage. Okay, the Ken Kanatsu is deciding not to shield. We can go for the go for another Aqua Tail. I think we are going for first Aqua Tail. Yeah, first Aqua Tail, and then we tried to get to another Aqua Tail, and opponent caught it on his Dugong. Like really very well played by opponent. Like he caught the charge, but like the Kenganatsu could have done nothing there because he had to throw his Aqua Tail. He was on his last HP basically. Now he's deciding to come in with his DIGGERSBY here. The reason for that is he does not want to align this DIGGERSBY on that Machamp. That is worse. That is bad matchup than having it aligned against Dugong. Opponent switches out into his Machamp and goes for the Cross Chop. This will knock out if goes unshielded. The Kenganatsu is hoping that it does not KO and we survive with 1 HP, but we didn't survive. So we are coming in with our Ariados here, and we are hoping that opponent goes for the Cross Chop bait, and he did. Now we are going for the Trailblaze. This will get the shield or it will knock out this Machamp. Opponent no shields the charge move, and he has Cresselia in the back. We can go for this lunge here, and the reason why opponent decided to no shield, I think, is because that Cresselia has the future side, but we have 2 shield advantage. Now I think we can win this matchup just because of the damage you saw from lunge there, and we can go for the Trailblaze, which will knock out Dugong from this health range. And opponent decided to shield, so we can go for another Trailblaze, not before opponent gets to this Icy Wind, but now we can overfarm, and then we can throw our Trailblaze here, and then we can throw our lunge on that Cresselia to win this game. We can go for the lunge. This will knock out this Dugong, and Trailblaze, which will knock out that Dugong, and now we can go for the lunge against this Cresselia to win the game. Into the final match of this video, we have DIGGERSBY versus Gastrodon. So this is a neutral matchup where whoever uses the shield can win the matchup. So we can go for the Scorching Sand. If we get the attack drop, then we can win this matchup in the even shields, no, in the zero shield. So we can no shield this charge move. It's going to be an earth power, and let's see if opponent gets the defense drop. He got the defense drop, and then he switched out into his Dugong. We can come in with our Ariados, and here Trailblazers from Ariados is going to do a lot of damage on Dugong, and that's why opponent decided to shield. Here we can let go one Icy Wind, and then we can start shielding afterwards. We can go for another Trailblaze. We can even go for lunge if we can get a shield. Sometimes when I used Ariados, I sometimes threw that lunge just so that I can get the shield and I can get that attack debuff on Dugong. So we can go for the Trailblaze here. Okay, he's going for the lunge here. I'm saying Trailblaze, but he's going for lunge because it would have knocked out Dugong if one fast move from Ariados would have knocked out Dugong if he wouldn't have switched out. So he comes in with his Mandibas here. We can go for the Aqua Tails here. This is kind of a neutral matchup because Poison Sting, buffed Poison Stings will add up after some Aqua Tails. So, and Aqua Tails, like we can spam Aqua Tails over and over again. It's sad that we don't have a charge move on our Ariados. I think we can get to one because with the amount of HP we have left on our Ariados. But let's see how this matchup goes as so we can go for the crunch, and it got the shield from Gastrodon, and then we caught the charge move on our DIGGERSBY. It's going to be a body slam, which is amazing. Now we can go for the Scorching Sands. This will, I think, probably knock out this Gastrodon, and then opponent will come in with his Mandibas because his Dugong is so low that it cannot farm down our DIGGERSBY. Opponent comes in with his Mandibas, and now we can no shield this charge move because DIGGERSBY has nothing. He can do a lot of damage has nothing which it can throw to do a lot of damage on the Mandibus. Now we can come in with our Ariados, go for that lunge. It will do more damage than Aqua Tail from Drapion, and now we are switching into our Drapion. We get to this Aqua Tail, and this Aqua Tail will knock out this Mandibus, and then we can fast move down the Dugong for the win. GG's. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.